I'm Jason Las Vegas, and these are my 2022 NFL Week 1 picks. Okay, so today is Friday, August 19th, 2022. We're about maybe 3 weeks away from the opening kickoff, and these will be my NFL Week 1 picks. We're going to open the season with the Bills versus the Rams. Rams coming off of a Super Bowl win in this stadium at home. For some reason, they're getting plus 2.5 points. I'm going to take the Rams plus 2.5 points. Ravens versus Jets. Jets, we have to worry about some quarterback injury there. Zach Wilson may be injured. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Ravens -7. I'm going to take the Ravens -7. Saints versus Falcons, I have to take the Saints -5.5. I really like the Saints. I think the Saints and the Eagles this season are two teams to watch in the NFC. Plus, -5.5 for the Saints versus the Falcons. I'm not too confident in the Falcons' quarterback situation. I think the Saints win this game by probably double digits. Patriots and Dolphins, something's going on with that game. I'm going to skip it. I know it sounds crazy. It seems like easy money to take the Patriots plus 2.5, but I'm a little bit surprised that the Patriots are underdog in this game. We don't know who's calling the plays on the offensive end. It's a little bit too risky. I want to see where the Dolphins are at, and I want to see where the Patriots are at. So this is kind of to me, it's a game I would rather just watch than bet on. I want to see where both teams are at. I want to see what Tua does with Tyreek Hill, and I want to see what Mac Jones does with the offense, and who's calling the offensive plays. So I'm gonna skip that game. Panthers versus Browns. It seems like Baker Mayfield will be the Panthers quarterback. That's a revenge game. It seems like the Panthers, they're coming into the season not too injured, so they have most of their players. Browns, they just lost their quarterback, Deshaun Watson, for I believe the first 11 weeks of the season. So because of that, I'm going to take, and it's a pick-em game, I'm going to take the Panthers to win the opening game at home versus the on-the-road Browns. Bengals and Steelers. This is kind of another game I want to kind of watch. We don't really know who the starter is going to be for the Steelers. Their rookie quarterback came in and played really well, but the Bengals are coming off of a Super Bowl appearance where they did lose that game. 6.5, I kind of feel like, I'm going to just take the Bengals to win the game. I don't know if they're going to cover that. They probably will cover, but there's a little bit too much up in the air with the Steelers. The Steelers are, traditionally a great organization, so I'm not going to give up too many points. And like I said, I don't know who's the starting quarterback for the Steelers. 49ers versus the Bears. Wow, this is interesting. I like the 49ers on a money line. I remember last season, I think it was like the 49ers versus the Lions on the road. I think that was last season where they almost like lost. The Lions almost backdoor covered. So for that reason, I don't think the Bears have a really good offense. But we have to see what Trey Lance does with the 49ers offense. I don't really want to take 6.5 points for the 49ers on the road again. I'm just going to take the 49ers on a money line, just on a money line. Eagles versus Lions. Obviously, like I said, the Eagles and the Saints, until they prove me wrong this season, I'm going to be betting heavy on the Eagles and the Saints this season. I don't think the Lions win too many games this season. Really, really good defense. They do have the rookie Hutchinson, who's a monster, but I really like this Eagles offense. Like I said, I'm going to bet heavy on the Eagles and the Saints this season. So -4 points seems like they should be able to cover that one. The Colts and the Texans, This is a tough game. I believe the Colts lost to the Texans last season, right? Colts had some really bad losses last season. I don't really want to give them 7.5 points. So I'm going to just take the Colts on a money line. The Colts could lose this game, I got to be honest. But I like Matt Ryan a lot more for a quarterback for the Colts. I'm just not going to give up 7.5 points for a team that I think they lost the last game of the season last year to the Jaguars or something like that. I can't remember. But Jaguars and the Commanders. You know what? Low key, everybody's talking big about the Jaguars this season. I like the offense. If you're gonna give me 3.5 points versus the Commanders, I'm gonna take it. I gotta be honest. I don't like the Commanders at all this season, so I'm gonna take that. Chiefs and the Cardinals. I'm a little worried about that Kansas City offense. I don't think they lose this game, but the Chiefs, the last few seasons, everybody's betting their lines up a little bit too much. 3 points isn't too large of a line for the Chiefs. I don't like the Cardinals offense. I just think the Chiefs I want to see where the offense is, so I'm just going to take them on a money line. I'll take the Chiefs on a money line. Obviously, in Las Vegas, a lot of people are really hyped up about this Vegas offense. I'm going to take the Raiders plus 3.5 versus the Chargers. I think they split this season series last year. So the Raiders, they're a little bit underrated. I really, really like that offense with Adams at receiver. That 3.5 points for a division game is almost always a take, right? If it was 2.5, I would be a little bit more worried. But if you're going to give me a field goal and a half, I'm going to take that for a division game, especially between these two teams. Such a good rivalry. Packers and the Vikings. Man, this is kind of a game honestly, I'm going to just stay away from it, right? Right? We're talking about wide receiver drama of, literally, we're talking about wide receiver drama with the Packers in practice, right? They had to have a meeting, so I'm just not going to deal with the drama. The Vikings, I think Kirk Cousins just got COVID this weekend, so he may not have COVID the weekend they play, but Vikings, they're just not a team I could bet on, right? They just are not a team I'm going to put any money down on betting. Giants versus the Titans. I feel like the easiest bet here would probably be, you know what? I'm going to take that Titans offense. They lost some receivers this offseason. But Henry is back, and I don't think anybody on the Giants will be able to stop Henry. 6 points. Can they win by a touchdown? You know what? It's NFL Week 1. I'm going to take the Titans. I think the Titans lost to either the Jets or the Giants last season or the season before. Like I said, I don't really like this offense. I'm really down on a Giants offense. I don't know if they could even score 13 points versus this Titans defense. Titans at home. I'll take the Titans -6. It's NFL Week 1. Bucks and the Cowboys. Bucks -1.5. I'm going to take the Bucks -1.5. I'm really worried about the Cowboys offense. They had 17 penalties in a preseason game. The coach said that this is not last season, and he also said that that was just a preseason game. So he's making two arguments. I don't know what's going on with the Cowboys. They lost some weapons on offense. They lost their receivers. I'm not too high on Ezekiel Elliott this season. We'll see what happens with the Bucks. -1.5. Remember, I think this was the opening game last season, and it was a really, really, really good game, right? So it probably makes more sense to take the Bucks on a money line, but -1.5 seems fair for a Bucks team that's looking to get back to the championship. Broncos versus the Seahawks. Obviously, we might as well just take the Broncos -4.5. Another revenge game. So many good revenge games this NFL Week 1. You have the Broncos, Wilson versus the Seahawks, who I don't know who the quarterback is. So I'm going to take the Broncos. Everybody's pretty high on the Broncos this season. I'm actually not that high on them. I think the Raiders are better than the Broncos this season. But you know what? -4.5. Monday night lights shining bright on the Broncos. We're going to take the Broncos -4.5 versus the Seahawks for the Monday night game for NFL Week 1, 2022. 14-team parlay. We're taking the Rams +2.5, the Ravens -7, the Saints -5.5, Panthers just a pick 'em versus the Browns, the Bengals on a money line, 49ers on a money line, Eagles -4, Colts on a money line, Jaguars +3.5, Chiefs on a money line, Raiders +3.5, Titans -6, Bucks -1.5, and Broncos -4.5. Maybe let's just do. I'm gonna bet $2 to win $4,310.81. That's a bet right there. Hold on, let's confirm that, right? Let's confirm it. Confirmed. So, okay, there we go. Those are my NFL Week 1. Those are my 2022 NFL Week 1 picks. Let's go over them. 14 picks. We're taking the Rams at home, plus 2.5 versus the Bills. Taking the Ravens on the road, -7 versus the Jets. They're taking the Saints Saints minus 5.5 on the road versus the Falcons. The Panthers, a pick'em at home versus the Browns. Bengals on a money line at home versus the Steelers. 49ers on a money line on the road versus the Bears. Eagles -4.5 or -4 on the road versus the Lions. Colts on a money line on the road versus the Texans. The Jags plus 3.5 on the road versus the Commanders. Chiefs on a money line versus the Cardinals. The Las Vegas Raiders plus 3.5 on the road versus the Chargers. Titans -6 at home versus the Giants. Bucks -1.5 on the road versus the Cowboys, and the Broncos -4.5 on the road versus the Seattle Seahawks. Okay, so 14 team parlay to win $4,310.81. Let me know your NFL picks. Will I go 14-0 or will I go 0-14? Let me know your 2022 NFL Week 1 picks. What's your best bet? What's your lock of the week? Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? Who's your home team of the week? Who is the road team of the week? And what's your upset of the week? Who's the dog that you like? A dog being against the spread, underdog, and maybe some teasers, or even your favorite bet of the week. I am Jason, Las Vegas. Today we were talking about my 2022 NFL Week 1 picks. Welcome back, NFL season. We have a 14-team parlay risking $2 to win $4,310.81. Thank you for watching.